There we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is game two between Marine King Prime and Millennium Stephano. We just saw the first game with Marine King. He wasn't. I don't think he was really playing that well. I don't think it was his A game. But the one thing that he does have it in his favor now is Zelnaga Caverns, which is a map where the Terran player doesn't have to worry nearly as much about the large terrain where the Zerg can surround and everything, and you do have a lot of choke points that you can use to your advantage. So, I think on this map, Marine King is certainly going to be in his element, and hopefully he brings a better game here than he did on Outer Rim.
I think every TVZ, including a Korean Terran player that we've watched on this map during these qualifiers so far, they've gone double racks right into, a macro game that PFs the gold or puts an OC down on the gold for just ridiculous amounts of money. So that's what I expect to see. I would imagine we're going to see a bunch of very, 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 very aggressive play into macro that involves controlling these Zelnaga towers. It looks like Stephano going to send out a pretty early scout. He wants to get a very early read on whatever aggression is going to come his way. Marine King could certainly throw a loop at me, though.
Yeah, we'll see if Marine King decides to open with that 2 barracks pressure or not, and if Stephano decides to open with that 15 hatch, which can be hard to open on this map. Here, there is the barracks going down. Did he see it? He did see the barracks, so saw it with that very early scout. Marine King right there was banking on Stephano not scouting on 9 or 10 supply, which he did. So the barracks rush has been revealed now, but only 1 barracks has been constructed so far. There has not been a second barracks yet. So for now, Stephano is probably assuming it's a 2 barracks play, and he's going to be right.
There we are. So, oh my god, and the drone sees the second one as well. MKP, he's going to try and get away, or he's going to try and hide this, but it's simply not going to happen. Looks like this drone is going to have to move away. We have a little bit of worker on worker action. Usually I have to pay double for that kind of a thing. But 2 barracks are out, and we'll see what he decides, or how aggressive he wants to be, how many SCVs he's going to pull.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. One thing also for Stephano is he did open up with the pool before going for the hatchery, just revealing that the couple barracks told him that he can't really go for the 15 hatch. It would be very hard to hold against Marine King Prime. So he's going for the pool first, which I like. Does he have gas running yet? Yes, he does, so he will have speed momentarily. And he should have enough links to hold off the 2 barracks pressure without too much problems. But the one thing he's got to be careful about is not taking too long at establishing that hatchery downstairs. He doesn't want to play one base for too long against MKP.
And look at this. MKP actually just turning around and going home. Doesn't even want to move into this. Excuse me.
It's all right, man.
There are 4 lings out now, though, so that's going to be able to take pretty good map control and get a good read on what MKP is doing. But he already forced Stephano into producing another round of lings after that and ceasing an additional round of drones, which is actually going to pay pretty well for MKP. Now, to Stephano's credit, Marine King did pull a lot of SCVs for a pretty long period of time before he decided to build this next command center, so he did lose some mining time of his own.
One other thing as well, Stephano did scout with his links before going to the front door of Marine King Prime. So he did check for the location of the barracks and did not see the barracks on the ground anymore. So now he can safely assume that MKP did lift off, go back into the main, and he's going to try to play a macro game.
Yes.
So he is going to go ahead and go grab that expansion downstairs now. And just like that, we have a game that has now settled into the macro phase without too much aggression, at least not as much as Outer Rim.
Yeah.
And we'll just see how things go from here.
Yeah, at least it's not as much as we were expecting. I figured there was going to be an all-out bunker rush or something along those lines, but all of MKP's proxy structures were revealed, so there's no real point to continue that, as it wasn't exactly going to come as a surprise. But here we go. Looks like Stephano already taking down the rocks to head towards his 3rd, which I think is clever and is going to be a pretty good play here. MKP is going to be able to put on 2 base pressure quite well, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to come for a little while because this orbital command is not up yet. Clearly he's showing that he's going to go into pretty mass tech, maybe even a second factory. Yep, second factory coming down, so be a little while before Blue Flame or anything like that is able to start making its way onto the field.
Yeah, it'll be a couple minutes. So Stephano, he scouted the fact that MKP went back to his main. It's just going to go ahead and assume that MKP is trying to get that command center down and going to try to play a macro game. So he's going to grab his 3rd, which I like.
Oh,
but
he did see the construction of the
next. He did see it.
Yeah.
So he's just confirmed right now that yes, MKP is going to go to 2 bases. So he wants to grab that 3rd. But I don't know exactly why he's going for the 3rd in the back. I feel like going for the gold would be better here. Just because, yes, it's a small map. Yes, expanding there makes it a little riskier, but I think the risk versus reward is good and better for the Zerg to get the gold. But that's just me. So it looks like he's going to get a couple lanes here, and he's going to try to run into the natural. Could kill those Marines off, and it looks like he's going to do just that.
Now, go all in here, but that's just me. Vegas.
Yeah, just like completely psych out the Zerg. And then
No, I'm joking. I'm quoting Stripes. So anyway, because you said that's just me. But anyway, yes. Obscure movie quotes. Anyway,
Blue Flame's on the way.
Yes, it is. And here we go. Looks like Blue Flame is on the way. He has not added a reactor, so it's just going to be double Hellion production. This offers a lot of versatility for him because if he doesn't commit over to that reactor right away, yeah, he can build one on his barracks like this and then decide to just put up a mass number of Marines and then eventually just switch over and go into just mass tank Marines. So he is going to be in a fine position, especially if he can establish control of the Zelnaga towers and start slow pushing his way towards his opponent's base. Stephano is really going to be on him to play pretty defensively.
I like Stephano's building positioning right now. He's using that, I believe that's an Evo chamber to help block off that ramp, and the spine crawlers are well placed to deflect against Hellions. I would love to see another Evo chamber behind his mineral line as well to keep the Hellions from running around the back. So he's got his building structures well placed to deal with Blue Flame Hellions, but I think he could use some roaches as well. I don't know if he's got enough to deal with 6 or so Hellions, and we'll just have to wait and see. It looks like Stephano going to go around the back door to run into the natural. Going to get a lot of SCV kills as well here. Great play by Stephano, continuing that play style of just killing SCVs and meals whenever possible. And meanwhile, back at his natural, looks like the Hellions are going to run up the ramp.
Oh, no. Oh, this is going to be bad. Here we go. All right, Blue Flame Hellions already rescuing a couple of drones, and go line them up. That's a lot of drone kills already. Maybe not enough to justify the cost quite yet, but I'm sure we're going to see a few more go down here in a second. Yeah. Oh, that's a big line. Oh God, that's more. That's just a lot of death and destruction.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
A lot of drones went down right there for Stephano. He's not entirely out of the game yet because he did trade off pretty well against MKP as well. Actually, only got one SCV from MKP.
Yeah, because the Marines started pulling his way down whenever he saw the Hellions get on creepy quick caring about his Zerglings and started defending against the Hellions, which is actually pretty fortunate because that 12 workers kill that we saw just there for MKP could have just as easily been about 25 or 30.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. But, you know, Stephano's not out of it yet. I think he can re-drone pretty quickly because he is on 3 bases. He has a lot of hatcheries. He's got a lot of saturation. His queens are still all alive as well, so he can inject that larva pretty quickly. And there we see 10 drones being constructed. But certainly he's behind right now.
Yes.
And he's going to have to figure something out. I think he's going for Infestation Pit again. Yeah, he is. So he's going to go for that Ling Infestor army, which worked pretty well for him in the last game. But you got to remember, guys, this is Zelnaga Caverns, and it's not quite the biggest map.
No, and
at least not in comparison of Tal'Darim.
No, you're exactly right. And him investing in pathogen glands before he's able to get up any infestors for a while means that his opponent is going to be able to just... MKP is going to be able to make an enormous army right now. He's going to sit on 2 base. He's going to make a huge timing push. And right now we see Stephano investing in drones.
Not the right
plus
time to be
1
droning.
And pathogen glands, which
he just canceled all of his drones.
Yep, and 16 Zerglings actually coming out.
How did he have enough larvae to do that? When you cancel workers, or you cancel stuff, you don't get eggs.
Did he cancel those, or did most of those finish? Because he's at 49 workers now, which is actually a pretty good amount. But
I'm pretty sure he canceled them. I wonder how he got enough larvae to make them any links, but he did it. So I still don't think he's going to have enough links, though. He's just he overdroned right there, hoping to eco cheese his way out of this game, but it didn't quite work out because MKP's all over that.
Yep, and here goes hatchery number 3. When hatchery number 3 goes down, the last hope that Stephano had of getting back to this game is gone. Yes, indeed. He has a bunch of Zerglings coming up, but unfortunately, those, are they even going to see the light of day? Oh, yep, they are, because all his units did just unsiege right there. There are a couple of infestors on the field, so he's going to try and deflect this one big army, but he's still operating at a 50 supply deficit, and that is really, really hard for Stephano to overcome.
Yeah, that's going to be quite difficult. It's going to have to come down to his fungal growth. If he can hit them, once again, Marine King pushing out without sieging up his tanks. There's one tank sieged up. That's going to be good. And now sieging up with the leapfrog strategy. So much better, so much more efficient, and that is why Marine King's able to push so hard into Stephano's natural right now. There goes the fungal growth, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And MKP here on the verge of winning game 2.
Yep, and I think we're going to see a GG here momentarily. Hatchery's about to go down for Stephano. He's down half the supply of his opponent now. Looks like he even just dropped in a couple of infested Terrans into his own mineral line there for a second. Don't think there were any units that were running by or anything, so they may have just been out of frustration, as the siege tanks still did their flash damage and killed them. Natural expansion about to go down. Stephano seems like he's holding on to the very last man.
Yeah, holding on to the very last of it right now, and it looks like he should be GGing after this little play. I don't see him winning this game at this point. And there's a GG. I'm predicting it. There's a GG.
It's like Homer, that episode of The Simpsons where he's like, red light, go green. Now?
Yes.
Now? now,
Yes.
now, and then it went green. He's like, woohoo, I did it.
What did? No beer, no TV, make Homer something.